Hello and welcome to this week's Uplifting Conversations. We are going to be talking about our journeys of courage that has enhanced our ability to create change. Now, in the studio today, I have the lovely Sarah Clews, and I'm so delighted because Sarah is on the same wavelength as I am because she talks about frequency. Sarah works with sound and has also decided to include essential oils with her practice of creating beautiful workshops using her beautiful bowls. And today we will be hearing from Sarah about some of the things she does with her bowls and how she has taken some steps on her journey into her courage so that she can start creating the life that she wants. So welcome, Sarah, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Kay.
and
Wonderful to be with you.
Fantastic. Now, for those of you who weren't hanging on waiting for us, we've just spent the last 15 minutes with Sarah getting organised between laptops and phones and getting our tech issues ironed out so we could actually come on live and have this conversation tonight. And, I'm sitting in the background, cool as a cucumber, saying, oh, well, what can we do about this? We can just do what we can do. Well, Sarah's been rabbiting around and running, getting laptops and cords and all sorts of things. And, it really just reminds me of life because things don't always go according to plan. And when we are confronted with things not going according to plan, we really need to have some strategies. So when Sarah sat down and I said, what do you need? Grab a drink. Have you got your oils? And she said, no, I'll go and grab my oils. So that's what we do when we're frazzled and going, oh my goodness. And I was already late. So we're off to an interesting start this evening. So Sarah, I can congratulate you on your persistence and your commitment to coming on live and to sorting everything out. So I'm so pleased that it's all worked out for you. So I always have these conversations around courage, and I love asking people, what they think of courage and what sort of steps have you taken into your courage, or what do you think of courage? Have you needed courage in your life? Would you like to share a little bit of your journey and maybe include, where courage comes into things for you? Have you always felt that you had courage to do what you needed to do?
I suppose, Kay, courage came into my life probably around about 5 to 6 years ago now. So I went out one night with some friends and in a room full of friends, and I actually had my drink spiked. And from there, it's just been a big journey of courage to trust other people again, I guess.
Oh my gosh, that must have been pretty scary to have something like that, and then wondering, like, a journey. Like you would have been taken by total surprise, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, it was a big surprise, and it sort of brought to light in my life what I needed to also get rid of, and sort of what wasn't right for me in life and what I needed to fix in my life, I guess. So that was another thing that it's sort of, I guess that event kind of inspired me to also pick up my life and change it, I guess. Had to have the courage to change it.
Yep. So you realised, and that is part of it, you realised that you needed to make some changes in order, it gave you this pivoting moment where you realised there were things in your life that weren't resonating with how you wanted it to be.
That's right. Yeah, things just weren't working. And once I decided to make those changes, life turned around quite a bit. I just haven't looked back, I guess.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And I don't know if you probably can't see the comments, but someone said, and it's Suzanne Humphreys, I love the sound of bowls. Absolutely. And so sorry this happened to you, Sarah. So, when things don't go our way, it opens up the door for other people. So we're seeing a display of empathy here and resonance, a bit of connection with other people, and people sort of feeling for you and thinking for you and supporting you, which I know for me, when something goes wrong in your life, you work out who your real friends are or who's there to stand by you, because not everybody is, so it seems. So when we are living life and we are putting up with what we don't want in our life, and when sometimes we come to what I would maybe call a crunch time or something, or a pivotal moment like this, it leads us into stretching who we are and going out of our comfort zone. And then for me, it's like refinding. For me, it was like refinding myself, which I feel we do all the time. We're renewing our sense of who we are, and we're reevaluating ourselves. And Jess says, it sounds like it made you stronger, not weaker. That's really strong of you. So everybody has these moments, but the key is, what do we do when we have these moments? So I know that you and I have connected through our love of vibrations and frequency, and you talk in tones, in musical notes. And I know with our oils, I'll often talk in musical notes about the composition of the oils. And that's something we both have in common, that sense of making sure our frequency is in alignment with who we really are. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about your journey of stepping forward into your work with the bowls. And I know you've done a course in frequency, but tell us about that part of your journey.
So yeah, when so as I said, I had my obviously there was the drink spiking incident, and that sort of paved the way to me looking at my relationships in life, one of which was one with my husband. And I decided that maybe it was time we part ways, because we just did not fit anymore. And so then after that, I guess I began listening to, I just remember not being able to sleep one night. And so I picked up the phone and was looking for things to make me sleep, and a tune come up called 528 Hertz. So I pressed on that and I began listening to this thing called 528 Hertz. And I found that it made me very angry. I really liked the sound of it, but it made me angry. And I couldn't stop listening to it, even though it made me feel really angry. But as time went on, I found that the anger gradually subsided until it just made me feel quite, relaxed and nice again. So, and from there, I moved up here to Burnie. So I used to live in Strahan on the west coast of Tasmania. So I moved 2 hours to Burnie with my children. And then I began attending events and really loved the live events. They were amazing. And I got a lot of benefits from them in the way that they would make me feel a lot lighter, I guess, in my body, and just at ease. And the effects would last, for weeks and weeks. And then from there, I began attending workshops. One workshop I attended was about chimes and solfeggio tones. And I didn't realise it at the time, but that was the 528 Hertz.
Mm-hmm.
So, and from there, I began doing courses, and brought my first set of crystal bowls.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you started with, or you went to a workshop with Gary from the Solfeggio Chimes.
With Gary. Yep.
I've got some of his chimes here, and
Yep.
you've got something there. Yes.
Yeah.
Which one's that one?
This is the 528 Miracle Chime.
Yes, I thought it might be the Miracle Chime. Beautiful.
Would you like me to give it a little go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that sound okay?
It comes and goes. That's the thing. I thought it was gone. Yeah, no, that's not bad. If we sit, how long it still resonates?
It goes forever. I can actually take this chime.
Yes.
And I can go, I live in a 4-bedroom house. I can take it all around the 4-bedroom house and it will still go. I reckon that I could possibly do the outside of the house as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Gary's chimes absolutely
goes forever.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. I also have another one here. It's a bit of a deeper one. Would you like to listen to that?
Yes. Let's see how it goes. Sometimes with these microphones on techie things, they're not so good, but that one seemed to hang in there.
This one may go a little bit better.
That one's interesting because you can hear the two tones, the high and the note, the high and the low.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yep. It's still, I can still slightly hear it resonating, but that's the beautiful thing. Now, why do you think frequency is such a powerful tool? Would you like to share a bit of that? What sort of?
Look, frequency is very powerful. It just it goes into the cells of your body, changes your DNA. There's just so many wonderful things about frequency, and from there, I'll tell you one thing that Gary always says. He says, "It won't change your life, but it will change your life." Meaning that it won't change the life around you, but it will change the life inside of you.
Within you, exactly.
Yeah, within you. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have been fortunate to have experienced lots of Gary's chimes, and I think I was attracted to his chimes because they sound so good, but also because I know I know a bit about frequency and vibration, and I'm always talking about that when it comes to the oils, because our oils have different frequencies and different vibrations. Now, earlier on, you were saying that when you started to work with the chimes or the bowls, I'm not quite sure what you worked with first, but when you were first into the healing sounds of the notes, you were feeling angry. Would you like to share why you think they brought up the anger and what it did for you? Because it sounds like a transformation that has occurred with you.
Yeah, it definitely was a transformation. So the anger was a lot of suppressed sadness. I think really I had, when we're in a place where, we don't kind of recognize in our lives that something is so bad, it isn't so great for us, and we keep going with that, we suppress a lot of sadness.
Well, it's like putting layers over the top, isn't it? Another layer
over the top. Yeah.
Or distraction. Oh no, I won't look here, I'll look there. And especially, I guess, when you're a mum with children and you're locked into a family and things aren't going right, we just think we needed to keep on keeping on, which you do, but sometimes a new path is the way forward. And we've got, I don't know if you can see some comments. Jess is saying, when you change within, the way we perceive what's around us is different. And that is so true. And those around us.
Yeah, for sure.
And Suzanne says you needed to release stuff you kept inside.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely.
So I know you've just started using you've just recently got your collection of oils.
Yep, I've recently got them, and I've used a few now in my sound healings, group sessions and individual sessions. So yeah, and everyone has commented on how nice they are.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, yep.
Because if you haven't smelled a Young Living oil, you haven't lived yet, if you ask me.
Look, so. I tell you, I've been using what have I been using on myself? I've been using the Valor. Is it Valor?
Yes.
And the Peace and Calming. I've been using them together.
Yeah.
And yeah, I as soon as I put them on, I just feel so calm and just, ready to take on the world really at the same time, if you get what I mean. It's
Yes. Well, that's
amazing.
what the Valor stands for. Valor is around feeling calm, but also feeling very strong and empowered. Suzanne Humphrey says, how good is the rose oil? Absolutely. I absolutely adore rose oil, which is 528 megahertz in its frequency, which is quite a high frequency in the oils, and it's the frequency of love. So it's a beautiful oil that we use. So what oils would you be using in your workshops? What oils have you used from your starter bundle?
Which so I've used the frankincense, because while I've actually only had the bundle, I've only done one group session. So yeah, and the group session was like a spirituality type of group session. So yes. I've used frankincense for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beautiful. Yep. Very good.
I've also done a few individual sessions where people have come to me with depression, anxiety, stress. And I used the Peace and Calming and the Valor as well for them. Yeah. And they seem to really like them.
Yes, it doesn't surprise me. So orange oil is a great oil for anyone who's feeling low, if you're out of sorts, if the joy factor is not, sparking. The orange oil is a really great uplifting oil. So you might even like to bring that into your practice with your clients, and over time you'll get to know yourself. You'll become intuitive and probably even more experimental with which oils they might like. I have a question. Have you opened the bottom of your box? Have you seen your stress away?
The stress away. Did I have stress away?
No, I think you haven't lifted a layer off.
No, I don't think I have a stress. I've got stress. Oh yeah, stress away. I did. Yes, I used. Okay. Yeah, I used this the other day. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely. Some people don't realise there's a second layer in the box.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I got it. I had to get into the is it the wolfberries? The wolfberry juice?
Yes, I'm drinking tonight. Yes.
Very
fantastic.
Uplifting.
Yes, very uplifting. And that's got quite a few oils in it, as well as being full of nutrition, and how amazing. So Suzanne says she uses joy oil. And now joy oil has rose in it, which is one of the reasons why I love joy oil. It was one of my very, very favorite oils when I first started using them. And Jess Miller says, oh, you're going to love them, Sarah. Welcome to the oil family.
So, thank you.
Jess comes on and has a show with me in the Uplifting Conversations, and we're always talking about resetting our health and well-being and how good the oils are. And she's anointed herself with oils for many months and just loved them. And now Jess is trialing all the nutritional supplements that have all got essential oils in them as well. And she's noticing what a great difference that's making for her in her healthy lifestyle as well. Your children, have you tried oils with your children?
I have. I've used the RC on my son. Recently,
Yes.
he had a bit of he got a bit sick. So I just, I put some of that into some shea butter and just rubbed it on his chest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he liked that?
Yeah, he did. He liked that. Yeah. Yep. And my daughter, when she first, this is a funny story, Kate. Well, you might not
Yes.
like the first part of it, but so when I first got the box, my daughter said, "Oh, yuck, that stinks." That's, because because it was so strong. But now she absolutely loves them. She likes to use the lemon and the orange.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're nice, simple oils, and simple for like lemon is so uplifting and refreshing, sort of uncomplicated, really. And orange is the same. They're just, and I guess she could easily relate to the smell of a lemon, and that's something she's familiar with. And sometimes it's good to start with something, where as a teacher, when I'm working with young children, it's always good to reinforce where they come from, because that gives you a solid foundation and that comfort of connection. Oh, I know that's familiar. So maybe that's why she's attracted to the lemon and the orange, because she's probably used to smelling oranges as well. So that familiarity would be comforting to her. Have you tried either of those in water? So a drop or two in water, and
yes, I have. Yeah.
and stir them around.
I had an individual here today, had an individual session, and we finished it with a nice lemon water at the end.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely beautiful to finish the session off with. Yeah.
Yes. So now, do you know that lemon is very good for grief?
Ah, really?
So I discovered that I had somebody who fell in love with lemon oil, and she was actually in the last month or two of her cancer journey, which was quite sad. But she absolutely loved the smell of the lemon in the diffuser, and all the family loved it. And it wasn't until afterwards that she passed, and I was reading one of my resource books and discovered that lemon is a very good oil for grief. And orange is a good oil if you're feeling sad and unhappy. It's brings out the joy in you. So this is what I love about the oils, because they work with us strongly on an emotional level, and it's like they fill that void of what we're not experiencing. They're very transformational because they'll open the door in a way other things don't. Like almost, well, it would be similar to you talking about the vibration of sound and what it did to you. It unlocked what was stuck within you. And they have done some research around essential oils, and it's one of the most powerful ways to shift any emotion that is stuck. And sound, different people will respond differently to lots of things. But I'm guessing, and I'm looking forward to having a workshop with you in a few weeks, because I'm guessing using the sound and the scent is going to be a more colourful, it's not quite the word, but a richer experience for your clients as well. And I was thinking about you before with your anger, so I'd be looking at release. So if you were doing a workshop and it was particularly catered to support people to release where they're stuck, you could be using the release oil and then bringing the sounds in as well, which sound takes us to another plane, another level, another world, another resonance, and opens the door for a new way forward. So do you find do you find it's a normal thing for people to be releasing a lot of emotions when you work with them?
For sure. A lot of the time I actually feel it. I can either feel heat, trapped heat in the body, or I can feel,
Yes.
you know, people will just start, you know, tears.
Yeah.
Sometimes not even, you know, sometimes at the start of a session before any sound has taken place. It's, you know, it's quite powerful. Yeah, just
Well,
with the meditation
yes.
alone that I do. Yeah. So
And I think it must be a powerful thing for somebody to say, right, I want to come and have a session, because on you know, that they've made a decision within that they're ready for some change, or they're searching for some comfort. So even the action of saying, yes, I'm coming to a workshop, or I'm having an individual session, is something that really could take courage for a lot of people, because sound is, well, one, because they know that they're stepping into somewhere new, somewhere perhaps if they haven't experienced it before. My most powerful sound experience was in Bali, actually, and I was in a room with a chap, and I'd never experienced something as intense as this one was, because he had such a variety of tones and notes, deep, big, like that one beautiful one you've got behind you. He had, you know, several sizes of those. Can you hit that for us? Can we?
I can, yes, I can give it a go.
Yeah.
I hope you can just let me know if you can't hear it or anything.
That's nice and deep. Yeah. Unfortunately, our microphones don't often give us justice when it comes to these sound healing, you know, instruments, because I don't know why. It's just because the microphones just can't. They haven't got. You need a really, really good microphone.
Yeah,
Here,
I haven't found a microphone to pick anything up yet. Really,
yeah,
I mean, I've got a couple of bowls that might do it, but
yes,
that's really about it. Yeah.
this is my barley bowl, and was hand beaten, and it's got 7 metals in it. And after my healing session, I just decided I wanted to take some home with me. So I've got, this is the middle one. So I've got a bigger one and a smaller one as well, but I absolutely love the sound of this one.
That's beautiful.
So I think that one sounds okay. I often use that in my shows when I'm, you know, working with people, and we do a little bit of breathing and resetting. I encourage people to grab their oils and just to move into the breath. So do you use breath with your work?
Just usually to start off with, I'll tell people that they can breathe alongside me as a connection type of exercise, I guess.
Yep.
Or
Yes.
that's sort of where I go with it, basically. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
And then sorry.
No, you go. You go.
And then we sort of move through an unconditional love, intention setting, and a gratitude exercise. Yeah.
That sounds nice. So we've got some lovely feedback here. Suzanne says, oh, Jess said a nice gong. She loves it. Suzanne says, I experienced sound healing at the Body and Spirit Festival. Not to forget Shazza, which is one of our friends who joins our lives often, did a session with sound healing after my brother passed, and that would have been beautiful too. And Jess says, I reckon it absorbs the vibrations, and the vibration in the air is part of the sound. You could be right there. I know I did a recording with a friend who's a music teacher, and I wanted to do my own recording, and sometimes I play that at the beginning of my show, but he had a microphone that was worth you know, a few $1,000s, and we recorded with that. And I do a little bit with my phone, but I think if you want a really good quality, you've got to have the right things, and especially with these chimes, because you can't necessarily hear the full spectrum or the full length of the chimes, particularly Gary's chimes, because they go on and on and on and on. And we know vibration is something that goes on. So it does go on. It goes, they say some sounds go out to the planets. Quite an interesting dynamic. And, when you think about us as humans, we are made of vibrations. So even the word human is around color. It's hue, the color. And we are all vibrational beings, and we're learning more and more about this as time goes on. It's something that I think perhaps it was knowledge that was from the past, but it's knowledge from that, we've lost the memory of it or lost the connection with it. And when you do research past things, you think of church bells and, organs and all sorts of instruments, music, it just speaks to our heart. And when we have things that are in tune and in harmony with our body, that raises our vibrations. And really, I guess for me, that's what we're doing, particularly if we're stepping into our courage and we're saying yes to those changes that we know that we want to make. But sometimes they don't just happen easily, and there's often a catalyst, that like sound, like color, like some sort of an experience or smell that takes us into a new place or a new space where we can play in. So do your children like your bowls and sounds? How do they respond?
Well, they like it. One of my sons is disabled, and so sometimes he gets a bit loud at night. So usually about 4 little taps of one of the chimes is enough to sort of send him off to sleep, I guess.
Oh, isn't that good?
Yep. He also likes drumming. He drums a lot at school. And my daughter and my son, I do a lot of practice on him. He's 16. He won't like me telling you this because
He's in bed.
Sorry.
He's in bed asleep now.
I practice tuning forks on him, and all sorts of stuff. But my daughter, she likes to play the crystal bowls. So she'll say, right, lie down, Mum, and I'm going to give you a sound healing.
Oh,
and that's quite nice. That's nice.
So have you got a crystal bowl there? Can we hear one of those?
Or are they okay, but a lot of the time they don't sound so great.
Yes.
They're another problem with them ones. I've got usually the smaller the better, but I'll just give you a sound of it. Let's listen to this, I guess. Oh.
No, that's good.
That's good, yeah.
But then it just stops, but then you could hear it's still going on. But often I know I'll play something and I can still hear it, but the microphone's not picking it up.
Yeah. So the thing with crystal bowls is the higher ones play well, but the deeper ones don't play so well. In the microphone they tend to get really staticky, I guess.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's because it's a vibration that's coming and going. It's not something that's stagnant, and it's not the right vibration somehow for microphones. But that's like to pick up. But I'm not really techie enough to know what's causing that. But yes. Yeah.
No, me either yet. I'm still searching.
Yeah. Well, I think you've got to have a very good microphone. So that's what it is. It's probably more like saving up.
But probably.
But I do have a friend down here at Sisters Beach who could probably talk to you about that. He actually borrows. He's a school teacher, and when I did a recording with him, he brought it home, and we recorded with that. However, you notice that even if he clicked something on the computer or it just picked up every little sound that there was. So you've got to be in a place where, like a car's not going to drive past or the phone's not going to ring in the background or whatever. Even just, I think he had a squeaky chair. So there were moments where, the chimes were going okay. So Gary's chimes seemed to record pretty well, but it was all these other noises that layered over the top that were the problem on occasions.
Yeah, those microphones seem to pick up a lot of noises that are away rather than the ones that are close.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and Jess said, yes, it's all connected, ripples through space. Absolutely. Now, what do you think if your drink hadn't been spiked? And for those just joining, we started off with Sarah talking about the catalyst that helped her to step into her courage to start making the changes in life that she knew she really needed. So where do you think you'd be if that situation hadn't occurred? And this is like it's, like it's anyone's guess really, but if you, or even if that had occurred and you hadn't made the changes. So maybe what I'm wanting to draw out from you is change worthwhile? And do you think it's made a positive impact on your life?
Oh, look, I think the change has been extremely positive. I mean, it's definitely harder at times, but it isn't. I guess if I was going to say anything, if I hadn't have made the change, I'd probably still be sitting in front of a TV every night. Probably out once a night with friends, just doing the same thing, drinking. Just not really doing anything.
Yes.
Talking rubbish, I guess, is one of the things. Not really using my brain.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think that's definitely where I would be. I think I would feel dead inside.
Yes. Yep.
I was going, very hollow and probably depressed.
Yes. And do you think your change has made in that case some expansion in your life, in how you think, how you feel, and what actions you're taking?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, my brain has changed so much. I used to be a person who was, I guess, very, oh no, you can't do that. Oh no, can't do that. Can't, anything that come up, you can't do that. There was a lot of, I suppose, pessimism and cynicism as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas now, someone will come up and say something, I'll be like, oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah, give that a go.
Something
or I see an idea or think of an idea, and I'll go, oh yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So you've lots of doors are opening, and doors of possibility, doors of adventure.
Yeah, and it's the ability to see the opportunities that present themselves.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because a lot of the time when you're stuck in that mindset, you don't actually see any opportunity, do you?
No, because you kind of got a box on your head, or you can't. If we are living in a state where we're not happy, we can often become consumed with our unhappiness, and that and we can't. I remember being in situations, and you think, well, how can I get out of this? Where do I go? What do I do? How and that sense of, and this is why I love to talk about courage, because I think sometimes you kind of think, or you get a picture of what, or you might know what you want to change, but you don't know how to do it. And it's that first step, or that risk taking, and different things will light that flame within you. It could be, for me, it could be smelling an oil, or listening to a tone, or meeting somebody who's got a different perspective from you, or being inspired by, watching other people live their life to the fullest is something that inspires me. But when you're in that locked in, locked down, I'm not happy, feeling stuck, to move beyond that is not an easy thing to do.
Certainly isn't, no.
So Suzanne says, so you are more optimistic and you turned a negative situation into a positive one. And if we can look at life with gratitude, which is you were talking about that, or more recently, for me, when something comes up and you feel like you've come to maybe the end of the road, or a hill to climb, or something that's you're confronted by. Well, what is possible is really a good way to think about it. Rather than think, oh, I'm stuck, if you start saying to yourself, I wonder what's possible out of this scenario, that opens the door to thinking that, or to even opens the door for you to start knowing that, life isn't necessarily a one-way street down on a straight road. We have bumps in the road, we have hills to climb, we have roller coasters to go down, or we might get to a T intersection or a crossroad. And if it's a crossroad, you've got three choices. Which choice? Or four, because you could turn around and go back. If you come to a T intersection, you can turn right, left, or you could turn around and go back the other way. But if you just think, well, this is the way I've got to get to somewhere, and you are closed-minded about your options, that holds you energetically in a state that possibility is a whole lot more reduced. So is there anything else you would like to share about your healings, or your what you're doing, or anything else you'd like to add to the conversation about your work?
Yeah, just about my work.
Or your life in general?
Yeah.
Just
I suppose, frequencies is a big thing for me right now. I'm changing everything. Like I'm realizing that everything has a frequency. And my big thing at the moment is clothing. So I am really into the different types of clothing that I wear and buy now.
Yes.
Trying to make better choices in the fabrics that I wear.
I saw an article on that recently. I like that. So tell me about that then. What does that mean?
Basically, like wearing clothing that's made out of man-made, I guess, synthetic clothing, synthetic materials. Sorry, like your polyester, and what else is there? Sorry, there's polyester, lycra, all those types of things. But one thing I did notice recently, I guess, was I was standing by the fire. I had a dressing gown on, and I could sort of feel a bit of numbness in my face. And I didn't really think too much of it. And the next night did the same thing, stood by the fire, dressing gown on, and numbness in the face. And I thought, oh, that's a bit weird, what's going on there? And I clicked that every time it happened was when I had this dressing gown on. And it turned, like, I looked at the material on it and it was 100% polyester. So I looked up polyester, and when it is heated, it's carcinogenic. So obviously that's not real great for you.
No, not at all.
Linking the two, I thought, so for now, I don't wear that anymore, and I'm not having that reaction.
Yeah, interesting you say you're talking about that, because I think I've recently read an article where they talked about the frequency of the clothes we're wearing and what they're made of, and if they're made from plant material, or if they're made from, as you say, polyesters, and which is a lot of our clothes are really made from plastic. That's what the polyesters are, and things like that. And they don't breathe. They don't keep you so warm. For me, they've never been nurturing. I've always avoided a lot of those materials. And so to see it becoming more mainstream, where people are talking about frequency and talking about the frequency of clothing, I thought, well, isn't that amazing? Because it's always been something on my priority list. When I'm looking for clothes, I've got to be comfortable, and I'm not comfortable if I'm wearing, you know, something that's particularly 100% synthetic, or, you know, totally, you know, derived, adulterated from what is, you know, naturally made. Like hemp clothing would be very good for us, or pure wool. I've always opted for, yes, organic, absolutely. If we can get organic, that's definitely the way to go. So as someone says, well, that's interesting. When you wear cotton, you know it breathes. Exactly. And that's Suzanne. So yes, when it breathes, that means it's like us. Our skin's an organ that, you know, breathes. It's not it's permeable. It's absorbent. Everything we touch, you know, can get, or everything we put on our skin gets absorbed into our skin, and our skin's one of, you know, one of the biggest organs in our body. So, you know, we're looking after it if we are wearing, you know, clothes that are natural. Something that concerns me is the dyes in all the clothes we wear. And years ago, I used to spin all my own jumpers and knit them, and I did a bit of dyeing, and everything was natural colors. And, you know, everything was gray and brown, and, you know, all very earthy tones. And then a few years later, I started loving all the, you know, the lovely bright rainbow colors and things like that. So you go through times where you come and go and changing. And silk, yes, Suzanne, I love silk too. It's more, feels nicer on the body. I actually, when I got married, I was married in a silk dress that I made myself with my mother-in-law, and that's because I just love the natural, the feel of natural clothing. I used to do silk painting for a while as well, and that was fun to watch the, you know, the paint move on the silk and get absorbed and bleed and all that. Lots and lots of fun. So, Tony, I'm learning to knit now. That's fantastic. That's a wonderful thing. And just to address you, Tony, you did say that you wanted to join my Oil Wisdom group. I'm pretty sure that I accepted you into that group, but I will have a look once I hop off here and make sure we can catch up. So, courage, commitment, conviction, and there is quite a few C words that I like to align with, because stepping into our courage is one thing, and then we have to have this conviction of following through, and we've got to have that commitment, I feel, to bring whatever it is to fruition. And the more we step into our courage, the more we get used to that, and the more we become familiar with it. And once we become familiar with something, then we become more empowered and stronger, and our ability to grow and evolve and you know, transform becomes a lot more expanded. So if somebody wanted to contact you, Sarah, do you have a website? I can't remember what we talked about there. How would people...
Is this for sound healing? Sorry, Kay, was that?
Confidence. That's it, Tony. Yes, for sound healing. Yeah. I know you and I are putting on a workshop on the 20th of August, but you've got to be living in Tasmania close to us, or fly to Tasmania and we'll welcome you.
Yeah, so all of my group events are advertised on Eventbrite. And will we put ours on Eventbrite too, Kay?
Yeah, well, we can do that. Yeah. What's the name of it? You have a little Facebook group?
I do. I've got a Facebook group. It's called Sound and Vibrational Tours Through Tasmania. You're welcome. Anyone's welcome to join it. Just Sound just press join. And I'll accept you.
Tours. Sorry? Did you say? Tours?
Yeah, tours.
Tours in
journeys. Sorry, journeys. Yeah, journeys. Sorry. It was tours, but now it's journeys, I think. Yeah.
How do I spell journeys? Did you spell it with an EY or?
Yeah, yep.
Right, there you are. That's Sarah's group. Sound and vibrational. Journeys, not tours. I've got journeys.
Yeah, journeys. Yeah, through Tasmania. And also, you can find my, I've got Hollow to Whole, which is my business name as well, which is on Facebook.
Okay.
So you can contact me there for any events or anything like that, or also individual sessions.
Yes. So even if you are traveling to Tasmania and you would like a sound healing, Sarah, you can contact her via me if you don't know how to find us. She's actually in our K's Essential Oil Wisdom group, so you can find her in there too, I imagine. Now, where's Mona Vale on the northern beaches? Is that Sydney, Suzanne? Mona Vale? Suzanne, where's that? Is that in Sydney? Is not quite sure. So I would like to thank you, Sarah, very much for coming on tonight. We have proven New South Wales. So you have proven you've ticked all the boxes of confidence and commitment and courage. Just saying yes to my offer of coming on here for a conversation, and we Sarah and I sat here for about 20 minutes trying to navigate our way so we could get Sarah in the studio tonight. So I really appreciate your persistence and dedication to this, and I look forward to you and I connecting and looking at the journey that you and I both I know we're about to step into a journey of somewhere through our sound and sense workshops together. And I look forward to experiencing one of your workshops, and I look forward to having you work with me collectively to bring some of this beautiful vibrational change out into the world. Because, one drop, one note, one breath, one action has a ripple effect as the frequency and the vibration reaches out to the community far beyond where we are now. And I don't think any of us really have much of a sense of the effect we can have on other people when we step into our courage and walk our talk and share the love and share the enthusiasm with others around us. And Suzanne said you live near Louise and Olaf. So, yes, in Sydney. So thank you very much, Sarah. And thanks to all the people who've been here commenting and joining us and supporting us, because without you, we wouldn't be sitting here doing what we are doing. So, Sarah, have you got any parting words that you would like to share with your beautiful audience here?
I am very grateful for you all for having me. Thank you. And you too, Kay. It's been a great experience.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to combining sound and oils.
Yes. Fantastic. So to all those people at home, if you have some oils near you, just grab an oil, and I might even grab gratitude and just smell this and enjoy my gratitude. And let's just take a breath, take a moment, and create an intention just for yourself. What is it that you need to do to step into your courage and make the changes that you desire, you need, or you want to implement in your life? So from my heart to your heart, or to your hearts, thank you very much for joining us. Look forward to seeing you on our next uplifting conversation. Or if you are not in my K's Essential Oil Wisdom group and you would like to be in our Essential Oil Wisdom group, please come and find me on Facebook. If you would like a conversation around oils or would like to know how to get in contact with Sarah, please reach out to me. And thank you very much, Suzanne. You're a blessing in our life as well. So go forth, step into your courage, create the change you want, and have an impact in the life of yourself and the life of others around you. So lots of love to everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.